to the nights we felt alive, picking up the pieces on a summer night. I didn't know that I would feel just like my heart's on fire whenever I'm with you. Cause we go back in time to thrills I miss and all the things I wish we did. All I know is that I need somebody like you. Cause I can't waste another night sitting here alone, hoping for your voice on the telephone. I know it's a supercut as you walk away, playing in my mind all the things I never close my eyes, and the sky's on fire. I can't waste another night sitting here alone. We can do it all again, and I'll never let you go.
Only the toughest of beards will be tested.
Commence time machine.
Get your shave stick today and enjoy the evolution of your daily routine. And notice the new smoother you.
Hello, everyone. It is Tina. Okay, we got all this.
So many echoes.
So many echoes. Okay, let's do this. So sorry. Okay, do you want to talk?
Yeah.
While I'm...
Hello, welcome to DNA and Greg Live, DNG Live. It's Sunday night. We've got lots of things going on, apparently.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hi. So sorry about that. Hi, welcome to DNG Live. I'm Dina Nina Martinez.
And I'm Greg Potter.
And yeah.
Hi. What you missed about 5 minutes ago was me on the floor. I did something to my lower back this week. I think I'm allergic to marijuana. I took a gummy the last 2 nights.
That sounds terrible to me.
And my joints have acted up in my lower back. And it's just like, oh.
Maybe it's that you're so relaxed that you're sleeping wonky.
That could be it.
I think.
And the damn dog took advantage of me being high last night and ready to go to bed. And she got into bed with me.
Our medicine to sleep.
It is. It's the best sleep aid ever.
I know, right? Hi. So we are on our sixth week.
Yay, Dina's learning to count.
It's hard. Numbers are hard.
What's going on with you this week?
Not a whole lot. It was the anniversary of my father's death. So I did a soul dive with a friend of mine.
Fun.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was really good. I got a chance to, talk to my dad on the other side, and it was really healing and beautiful. And yeah.
Not sure if it was implied that he was dead in that.
My dad.
Anyway.
I'm in the dead club.
So you did a soul dive. Let's talk more about a soul dive. What is a soul dive?
So she does, my friend Renee, she's an astrologist, but she also does like Native American kind of rituals. She's part Native. And so it was a dive into the soul. It was kind of like this shamanic experience, I guess. She rolled out as a dive into my soul.
Sorry, I'm just like, she's a life ruiner, Katie.
Yeah.
She ruins lives. It's a soul dive. I dove into my soul.
So I laid down here in the office, and she put some crystals and stuff on me because I'm all woo-woo like that.
So we both laid down on this floor in the past few days?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So, and I do it often, crying a lot. So I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I don't cry a lot. How was your week? What did you do?
I got a new shower head in my apartment.
So a lot of alone time.
I wish it was not quite like that. It's not that magical. Sorry, everyone. But I have had a very aggressive shower head in my shower ever since I moved in there like 5 years ago. And so I re-signed my lease and I'm like, let's fix this. And it's fixed. You're staying there this next weekend. So
I am. I get to use
enjoy it.
A lot of alone time in the shower. Why do my boobs look lopsided? Are my boobs looking lopsided?
I mean, I'm seeing them from this angle.
Fair.
So,
Okay.
Also, had an amazing dinner here in Madison on Friday night. Our best friend Christine was apart from us all week, and so I was having big withdrawals. So we went to a great dinner and sat in an outdoor patio at Davino's here in Madison, and I felt very safe and away from everyone. And Dino, who owns it, is very, he's kind of OCD. Everything was great.
The customer service obsessed.
The food was amazing, but the best part of the meal was when Christine grabs my arm like this, and she's like, "Oh my God, look behind you, but don't look behind you." I was like, "Don't look behind you." And I'm like, "What do you do? Look or don't look?" And I turned around and saw the best Bert and Ernie shoes and matching socks ever in life.
I don't know what to say.
I was so excited about them. I'm not a big Bert and Ernie fan, but the shoes and the socks were so amazing.
Oh, wow. Okay, good.
Thanks. I'll tell you another story in about 5 minutes.
I'm an elder, apparently.
Yeah, like my elder pains in my back.
Oh God, that's nothing. Wait.
This is real life.
It is real life. It hurts. Real life hurts.
Anyway, what else happened this
Nothing
week?
exciting. Nothing exciting. Nothing exciting.
I actually got a contract this week. It's not. No, I mean, yeah. Let's accept it and take it.
Oh, I shaved my arms and my legs.
Ooh,
haven't done that since pre-COVID.
Are you gonna make a sweater?
Yes, it's already made. I'm knitting. It's knitting as we speak.
I do have to celebrate this though, because it has been 4 months of losing all work. And even though this is a small contract, it's something to keep me busy that I'm working on some things. I am working on some things. I think next week I'm going to make the announcement of what I'm going to launch in March or in May next year. Ooh. Which you know what I'm talking about. Uh-huh. I'm trying to attach it to a certificate program with the university.
Maybe I do sort of, but I'm not sure.
It deals with traveling to South Africa and me.
Yes, I do know.
And me inviting people with me. So to show them the South Africa that I know so well.
If we can ever travel.
If we can. That's why it's not going to get launched until next week or next year.
Next week we'll be able to travel.
Next week we're going.
And so I was looking at, I'm sorry to jump on your.
Do whatever you need to do.
I was looking at so there was this meme on TikTok and it was like, or not TikTok, but something. And it was like, this is where your passport can take you. And it's like 12 countries. And it's like, Turks and Caicos, like all the, Caribbean, bunch of Caribbean places, like Rwanda. And
Rwanda's beautiful.
I'm sure it is.
But they really don't want us there.
I mean, who does right now? Apparently, our government doesn't even want us here. Badumski. Okay.
So should we talk about some news this
Let's
week?
talk about news. You're up first.
Some big things happened this week.
Yeah.
I want to celebrate the big thing with the court. Sorry, oh my gosh, my brain just stopped. A judicial court told them to empty the oil from the pipeline until the Army Corps of Engineers can go in and do an actual assessment of what's going on. So it's actually the court doing something amazing for something that's been fought for so long that we thought that we all just lost out to the pipe, look at how many people we know that actually went out there to South Dakota to help or North Dakota. Oh my God, my brain just stopped. I'm so sorry.
The Dakota.
I have Sunday night brain.
It says Dakota Pipeline. So all the Dakotas.
All of them.
All of them.
Anyway, it was a great, wonderful thing, but of course it got overlooked this week because all we can do is talk about a horrible president. and COVID-19.
Yeah.
Which is valid to talk
Which is
about.
so valid.
But there's other shit happening.
Mhm.
Hi.
And there's a bunch of other shit that's happening that we're not seeing, but that's my conspiracy theorist popping in. Florida reported 15,000 new cases today. 15,000.
That's 30 of my hometown. I grew up in a really tiny town. That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. Wisconsin was number 1 for community spread.
Yeah, because thank you, Supreme Court, for right before our
Wisconsin
primaries,
Supreme Court.
saying that, or no, sorry, that was a different shit. Our primaries, of course, were turned down, and that we had to go to vote in public when then we closed all these polling places. That's old news. But
yeah,
when right before Memorial Day, when the Supreme Court said no, you can open as a state. Tony Evers is a liar.
I just am like, what? Why are we not taking this a little bit seriously at all? So that's what I have.
Mary Trump's book came out this week.
I haven't seen it. I'm so excited.
Let me put on my readers. Well, they're actual real glasses. And I just want to. My nose keeps itching. Oh my gosh.
Judging.
And anyway, so Mary Trump is President Trump's niece, and so this book came out this week, and it basically just slams him a lot. But this favorite part from the New York Times article that I read on it was, I was reminded of every family meal I'd ever attended during which Donald had talked about all the women he considered ugly, fat slobs, or the men, usually more accomplished or powerful, he called losers. That kind of casual dehumanization of people was commonplace at the Trump dinner table. So it's not necessarily just about him. I from the other things I read, the book gives a little bit more of like how he became this person, which honestly, I don't give a shit.
Right.
We know why people become the way they are.
Right.
And this is too late to hear about it.
We're just in this shitty situation. It's so sad to feel so hopeless about the future. Given the fact that, whatever. Okay. Yes. I'm excited to look at that book. So I'll just skim through it. And then my last thing was, so Fox News condemns Tucker Carlson's top writer's comments as horrendous, deeply offensive. So Tucker Carlson was posting on this website very homophobic, white supremacist, terrible things, which is
not
shocker.
We're
not
if you've
surprised,
ever watched
not shocker.
I've heard him speak.
Right.
He's
and I've watched him a lot.
Likeable. He's my most hated person probably on Fox News.
Mm-hmm.
Although that's a big list.
So Fox News condemned him and was like, "You've gone a little too far," which is amazing. Yeah. And they immediately, it said vigorously, maybe it's, I can't remember, but I think it said like vigorously received his resignation on Friday. So,
well, let's be honest. Tucker Carlson is really just a couple accidental taps in an airport away from being come out of the closet. Like
he just hates himself so much.
Exactly.
It's so sad. And then of course the last thing I have is Naya Rivera is still missing. Naya Rivera was on Glee, and of course she went to Lake Piru in California, and with her son, who was found in a boat by himself sleeping, and she's nowhere to be found. They are doing sonar and scans and stuff of the lake. I think they said it was like really, really deep. I'm not even going to try to put a number on that because I can't. Like I'll say like it was 20. It's like a lot of feet deep.
A lot of feet deep.
Because it's a man-made lake reservoir versus, a naturally occurring one. So there's a lot of debris in the bottom. So there's like, who knows what happened to her? Like it could have been like Loch Ness.
Dina will be providing a sonar tutorial next Sunday on DNG Live.
Yes, I will. What did you? So what? Yes, never mind. Are we ready for the next?
Let's go for it.
So she. Okay, so everyone, please comment. Tell us what you are finding on the social media that you are just loving this week. Let's talk about it, but we're going to talk about ours first. Cool. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Okay, you go first.
Okay, so there is a Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith.
Wait, have you?
That came out. Did you watch it?
I've watched some of her Red Table Talks, but I have not watched any recently.
So it's a very intimate, very raw conversation between Jada and Will about their relationship and when they broke up, and then her being in a relationship with somebody else while they were separated.
Somebody else? Did they talk about?
Yes, they did, and I can't remember the name. But I just found it really awe-inspiring because it takes a lot of courage to go on and talk about those things, especially with your longtime partner. And it was just a very beautiful and raw conversation. And I was like, bravo.
I mean,
in fact,
she is my favorite lesbian.
I mean, she was dating a man, so I don't know if she's a lesbian. It was another man, but okay. So anyway, somebody did a remake or, a mix up of the conversation. It was really good. So you have to check that out, that YouTube. Sarah was like, it was me. You were the one having the affair with Jada.
I mean, I wouldn't kick her. I mean,
I don't think I would.
Oh my gosh, we'd have so much fun, me and Jada Pinkett Smith. No sex would happen in bed, but we'd have a lot of great conversation.
Fair, same. I'd make out with her and touch her boob. One of them, just one.
Like just touch
just
it.
one. I'd be like,
okay. So, do you know the Corona coaster has now officially become a word?
Corona coaster?
Yes. The ups and downs of a pandemic. One day you're loving your bubble, doing your workouts, baking banana bread, and going for long walks. And the next, you're crying, drinking gin for breakfast, and missing people you don't even like. That was one of my favorite
feel
memes
Corona coaster all the time. I love it. So I ran into a little video of this Biff from what is that DeLorean thing? What's that? Back to the Future, like the big muscly guy,
or a Tennessee Williams
truck, or a Tennessee Williams, and he was like really big and very muscular, and he was like, "F you, Trump's gonna win. We're gonna beat your ass." And I'm like, first of all, I'm shocked by how we get angry. Like, I know that I'm on the left side. I'm so liberal. I get it.
I've never noticed.
I know, right? So I'm just so shocked at how these very right-wing Republican people will just yell in your face. Like, I had somebody right after the election, like flipping me off and cussing me out just for having a sticker on my car. I would have never done that. Like, even if you got a Trump sticker, I'm not going to love it.
Right, and there was that video that went viral this week of the man in Costco with the red like freedom shirt, and he's like, "Don't get out of my space, but he's aggressively like going closer and closer to this woman who just asked him to stand 6 feet away, and he's like, I feel threatened. Like, even your wife is screaming at you, like, come back,
right? It was this guy, and it was posted by Josh Mankiewicz, and in the comments, this dude goes, "I would love a Spanish translation on it," and then he posted a Spanish translation in like a chipmunk voice, and it was so hilarious. Go find Josh Mankiewicz, go through the post and find the Spanish translation of it, because it's like, it's hilarious.
You know my favorite bit.
Also, Lalita D is saying that she slept with Jada Pinkett too.
Yay! I love this. Okay, you know my favorite Biff is the Biff as a character in a play that they were auditioning for on Golden Girls one time.
Yes.
And it was the time where Blanche had the fake bosom or the fake boobs or like the blow up water boob or whatever,
Yeah.
and they squeeze and they popped, and he's like, "I noticed that your bosoms have fallen apart or whatever." Anyway, I'm a great
Your bosoms have
storyteller.
deflated.
I'm a great storyteller tonight. Speaking of these memes that keep so Sochi, that's what we're on.
We're on
These
So
meme-
Sochi.
These memes that keep coming out that are making fun, like they're almost like Polak jokes, but also like two white men, which I
In
keep
Texas,
coming-
they were Aggie jokes, not Polak
Oh
jokes.
well, but like it's interesting that we're getting those types of jokes about white men.
Mhm.
And as a white man, I say, okay, let's
Yeah.
bring it. So there's this one, and I'll post this, and it's this older couple in bed, and he's like, I got a package today with bullets and a note in Arabic. Did you see this?
Yes, I did.
And the woman's like, idiot, those are suppositories and a prescription from your doctor.
I love it.
Like, and it just making fun of like how quickly that mindset is going there for certain people.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a white man. It can be all types of people because we all have biases. But like, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, let's point out our biases some more.
I think Lalita D was offended by the segue from Lalita D to the Golden Girls.
Oh, it was just because that character's name was Biff in the Golden Girls, and
So good.
that's what I got. Sorry, Lolita.
My next one was there today on Twitter, Pelosi must go is trending. Now, I like Pelosi. I like her. She's a corporatized Democrat, like Democrat. So Shahid Buttar is trying to get her seat. Shahid is from, I think Lalita's district up in the Bay Area, and he is a very handsome man. I saw him have a conversation with Marianne Williamson, and I was like, oh my God, I like him. And he's for Medicaid for all. She's not. Green New Deal, he's there. So I thought it was a really interesting, like, little feed. Although there are pros and cons of having somebody who's a little greener in that position, but yeah. Do you have a?
I'm just thinking about. I totally missed this. That someone was going that for her to take her Democratic spot.
Mhm.
So
He wants to abolish ICE. He wants a Green New Deal. He wants to legalize cannabis
I love all
and
this,
mass incarceration and mass surveillance.
but I just don't want it to take away from the attention that we need to put into getting rid of Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham.
Yeah.
And because I'm throwing a little. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm throwing a little bit of money, and if I can, I'm going to put some feet on the ground in Kentucky to knock on doors to get rid of Mitch, because Amy McGrath and him are so close. Like, so
And Ann Coulter is supporting Amy McGrath. What kind of world are we living in, you guys? I'm
So- for me, I love this, but it
Mhm.
also comes down to choosing your battles. And right now we've got but really it's not up to us. It's up to the constituents
right.
in that district.
Absolutely.
So
This can go into a whole different conversation, but
I
yeah.
celebrate that
Yeah.
he's going because she's still status quo when
Yeah.
it comes down to it. She is, and I'm glad that the House came across to voting her as Speaker, because it was really close between a couple of the younger congresswomen. But
a man of color, somebody who supports progressive ideals that are actually beneficial to everyone, is really fundamental to the reason that I would be inclined to vote for him. It's such a hard place to be in. This got a little darker or heavier for so socially than normal, but
no worries, because I'm about to change.
Shake it up.
Okay, so our good friend Derek has started a new film project.
Mhm.
Derek and us worked with each other at the Cheesecake Factory in ages, and he's a very sex positive, white cisgender male, and we love him to death.
So
and
much.
He's like just one of those people that cool with anything. Let's fight for what's right, and then let's also get dirty a little bit.
Mhm.
So we're gonna post this in our on our Facebook page, but his new film is Mother's Cream Diaries. We might have him come on, but he's doing a Kickstarter type crowdfunding to raise the money to get it done. And when we post it, if you want to throw some money at something that's kind of absurd and fun and exciting and different and presses the boundaries, then throw a little, even if it's a little bit. And he's so good at following up with his with what he promises. When like you donate $25, you get this, whatever. So it's a lot of fun to see the videos that he's making for everyone. Like one, it was it said, it's like, I'll always bottom for you, and it's him in a skirt. Like then there's a strap on involved, but like
there's always a device involved in his videos, and it makes me giggle.
Right? Because I mean, I'm a very sex positive person. You are too.
Yeah.
I'm
outwardly sex positive, but inwardly sex shameful.
But that's something we can talk about.
Sex shaming.
Continue for the rest of our lives.
Yes.
Because sometimes you're not, and I love when you're not sex shameful.
I had about 6 months where I was not sex shameful. Lolita posted up Shahida's in San Francisco. Nancy sure as hell beats Paul Ryan. I just want to beat Paul Ryan off, but that's a different story.
He's only 30 minutes away.
I know.
Okay. Sorry, I try not to give you the glare. Okay,
I don't care about the glare. I've got one more post, and it was from my friend Michelle in Minnesota, and it's this. You can't see it, and it's not. Yeah, it's not. I might have to do my. It says
last week she showed it to you on the video, and now she's trying to show you a black and white photocopy. We fancy.
It says, it's this person standing on the street. Your mask goes over your nose too.
So many people are around, like,
why? Put your mask over your goddamn nose.
You sneeze out of your nose.
You breathe. Breathing goes into the air. Like I was watching this video that like with highlighted saliva. I can't say words.
Like neon lights?
Yes, and it highlighted the saliva that came out of your mouth when you're just talking. It's an obscene amount of spit.
One of my projects.
And it goes far. It goes far.
One of my projects.
I'm sorry, it's going right onto your face right now.
Thank God you're in my quarantine.
I mean,
one of my projects, or with one of the projects we do in Belize, is we'll do a health fair at one of these elementary schools at the end of this long project that they've been doing for years, with the not primary students, the younger ones, the little guys, preschool. And it's everyone in this country needs to do this example of like putting glitter on a couple people's hands and then going around and shaking everyone's hands and seeing where the glitter goes. It's like we're see how quickly. But we need this for adults, is what I'm saying.
And as somebody who used to be a showgirl, I understand if glitter is anything like spittle, that shit gets everywhere. Everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere. Like years later, I'm still finding, like I moved from Los Angeles 9 years ago. I'm still finding glitter from when I lived in LA. Still like what the? I honestly swear to Jesus.
Those are the days when I learned that I don't like to rhinestone or glue rhinestones to dresses.
Oh yeah, Perfect. All right, so our last segment before we get into our guest, whom I'm so excited to have on today. Hey, Greg, what you watching?
What you watching?
What you watching?
This week I finally got into The Politician season 2.
Good. I haven't gotten there yet, but
oh my gosh, Bette Midler and her name just dropped. The blonde.
Yes.
From the
Who's the boss?
Who's the boss? Yeah. Anyway, to watch them at it is magic.
Judith Light.
Yeah.
Thanks,
to watch
Shawn.
them go at it is so amazing. Oh my god, it's so good. And then of course there was a wonderful monologue with because Gwyneth Paltrow, her character, is running for governor of California. And when she's like, California just wants to leave the states. New York, come with us. And I was like, I'll move back to California.
Right?
I
will move back in a heartbeat.
Anyway, so that's one thing that
I love it. I watched Mucho Mucho Amor, which is the documentary on Netflix about Walter Mercado, who was a Latino astrologist psychic who was all over the news in the 80s, 90s. And he was on, I want to say Univision. And I remember watching him when my mom wasn't home because my mom was like, that shit's the devil. So I'd watch Walter Mercado, and he looks kind of like a woman because he always had lots of makeup on. He's like the Latino Liberace of astrology.
My God, I saw it on Netflix, and I was like, I'm gonna look at this later. Now I want to look at it right now.
It is so good. It is everything. Mucho mucho amor.
Okay, I'm gonna throw two things in here because I just want to start talking to Shawn. One, I've been watching reruns a lot lately on older shows, and I just finished the original Will and Grace. I started Living Single again.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, just go back to it, everyone. Just go back to it. Okay. And now I'm gonna end it at mine with Perry Mason.
Yes.
It's dark as fuck.
That is not what I intended to do. I'm so sorry.
Okay. It's dark, and I was not expecting it. Heads up, spoiler alert, there's a dead baby right away.
Ooh.
But there is a fantastic splashing scene. It is so good.
I love a splashing scene.
It is
splashing scene.
It is amazing. And then before you know it, you're being ran after by a larger man with a very large penis.
I love
he
that.
still has cake on his face.
Okay, let me go back to this. Okay, so as we're finishing up,
what are you doing with that?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. I'm sorry, I have to produce and be on air talent. It's a lot. The final thing I'm watching is Warrior Nun on Netflix. It's so good. These nuns are badass bitches. The premise is just amazing. You have to go check it out.
Is that just the premise? Badass bitch nuns?
Badass bitch nuns. Yes, that's the premise. Okay. All right.
Wait, I need a little bit more.
So this girl dies in a orphanage because her parents died in a car accident and she was a paraplegic. So she's in the orphanage and then the nuns are mean to her. And then she dies and then she comes back to life again, but I can't tell you how that happens because then it'll ruin the whole premise.
Okay.
But it's so good.
I'm guessing witchery is involved in it.
It is not because it's a nun.
But nuns
they don't witchery.
Be closeted.
They don't witcherize.
Witcheries.
They don't witcherize.
Okay. Also, I'm watching what our next guest is up to. So are we gonna?
Yeah, we're gonna do a little clip and then we're gonna bring her in on.
Her shit is hilarious.
So good, you guys. So our guest is. We're gonna just play the clip. How about that? Let's just play the clip. I'm getting there, guys.
Hello, sinners. I'm Septa Unella. You may recognize me from the Church of the Seven. What you're about to see are a bunch of comedians and variety artists performing other people's real social media posts, comments, and reviews from places like Twitter, Instagram, Nextdoor, and more. But today on Social Media Meltdowns, I bring before you the ultimate sinner, the anti-masker, So please join me in their repentance as I read some of their Facebook posts out loud, and feel free to throw anything at them as they do their walk of repentance. I'm not bragging or anything, but that's my third gas station plus Costco, 2 plane rides, and a hotel without a mask. I kind of rule, breaking the law.
All right, please welcome to the show, Shawn Pelofsky.
Hi guys. Oh God, I look so what's the word? Dowdy in that outfit.
You look like a warrior nun.
Well, you know, there's so many Jewish warrior nuns out there.
There
so,
are.
I mean, why not?
Right.
I am so excited to have you. Shawn is the creator of Social Media Meltdowns, and she has her comedy special, Stretch It Out, on Amazon right now that you can go buy, and we'll post a link on the page soon.
It's free on Amazon Prime, so I figured everyone's got that in the quarantine because there's nothing else to do.
Right.
Right. I paid for it because I love you.
And on top of during quarantine, one of my favorite things have been learning Portuguese from the Portuguese word or phrase of the day that you've been doing with your husband.
Yes, I have a Brazilian husband, and he is very frustrated with me because we've been married, I want to say 6 years, together 7, feels like 40 in a quarantine, but he is, you know, always saying, you don't know Portuguese, you should be able to speak, you know, that I should be fluent in it. And I'm bad at it. And I tried, I'm not that good at it. And I find it hard to learn a language when you're older. And I took 5 years of Spanish, and I'm okay with that. I'm still not fluent in Spanish, and I should be. But I find that easier to understand, and Portuguese is like a little more, sounds like it's just that French has been intertwined somehow, and it's like more of a zhu, and it seems a little bit of a lazier pronunciation. So we do videos once in a while. Well, we'll do a phrase or a word of the day that he tries to teach me, which I within seconds botch it up, and I'm not even trying. It's just I'm not good. I don't hear what he's saying, and whatever comes out of my mouth frustrates him.
Oh my, it's so because he just pops up out of nowhere to say it in Portuguese. But I get that. When I work in Mozambique, the first time I ever went there, everyone's like, you speak Spanish, you'll be fine. I was like, no, I was not fine.
Yeah. It's hard. It's you know, my in-laws, my mother-in-law doesn't speak English, which I don't know, might just work in my favor. That way she's never going to be like, how old are you? Because my husband 12 years younger, because I'm not dead. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Cougars unite. What?
That's right. That's right.
So you have had such a full and amazing career.
Have
Even when I look at your career, I'm like, first of all, you're like the biggest star in my eyes because
Dina, stop. You're gonna make me cry. You know how I feel about you. You know how I feel about you, Dina. I think, you know, we all work hard and everyone just busts their ass. This business is tough. And right now it's like the gods are really frowning down on comedy with closing all the live venues down. It's been hard, but you see how creative people have become, and they've kind of assimilated to what this is and maybe what the future will be. I mean, I hope not. I want things to change, but I don't think until we change leadership, and you know, it's going to take a village.
Yeah, it's true. We're all just doing what we can, right?
Right. So with Social Media Meltdown, because my favorites right now are the banana peeler, the Bette Midler one, and then the most recent one. I think you might have one more since then, but the Bridezilla one. So how much time are you spending on social media to really find these winners?
Well, I started this show about a little bit over a year and a half ago. And I would run it. It was running live at the world famous Comedy Store once a month. And it just became this popular show. And so when the lockdown happened, I knew that I had to kind of switch gears. And so, I always spent a lot of time. A lot of the stuff I find, which I did for the live show, was looking at. There's a title called "Insane Facebook Posts" on Reddit. So I would go through those to find some insane posts that went viral or not. And I would Google a lot. And sometimes I would just Google bad date social media post or Instagram, breaking up on Instagram, or I just to figure to master Google. Reddit is a great place to start to find whatever is out there on social media, what crazy is out there. And then I also, as far as celebrities, I like to do impressions and characters. So, I think a good place to always start is their Twitter or YouTube comments. So it kind of takes you down that rabbit hole when you're looking up someone like Axl Rose, and you think, oh, nobody's going to say anything bad about Axl Rose. And then you start to look at all these tons of music videos and people just trash. And you think, God, what's it like for that celebrity as they're reading stuff? And, and I know that like they have the show Mean Tweets, but like this just goes to all different types of levels. And it's amazing to see what the comedians come up with, what they find. Again, there's all types of social media. There's not just Facebook. There's not just Instagram. There's not just Twitter. I mean, you have Nextdoor, which is just a bevy of crazy. It's never not crazy. You've got, I don't care if people sing cash Venmo payments. There's LinkedIn, there's Craigslist, there's Airbnb, there's Yelp. And there is so much out there that people have put out publicly and not ashamed to do it. So, I think it's easy to find stuff. It's just how creative can you get putting that out there so people laugh.
Totally. Like, I'm always astounded at the things that they come up with on that, and the idea is just brilliant. And I was for so long wanting to be on the show in LA, but I'm here, so I'm so excited that it's now.
You're going to be on the online YouTube show that we have now since the lockdown. When I had to assimilate, comedians just from their home get really creative, and they find different forms of social media to introduce each week. And they just kind of look outside the box. Some people are really like edit wise and with graphics and things. They're so good. It's like, how many people do you have working on this 3-minute production? It seems like, they needed a costume designer, a makeup artist, special effects, a colorist, a cinematographer, a director. And they're like, no, I just knew how to do all this. And I'm like, I'm like the 90-year-old lady going, okay, play, record, and I'm just trying to do whatever I can in my fucking bedroom to think outside the box. And the banana peel one that you like, which was an Amazon review that my best friend found for me on Amazon about some banana peel, and she had the banana costume. And when I was kind of running out of ideas because my brain is, I'm on overdrive, I got this costume in the mail, and she said, you should do the banana review. And if you look up this Hutzler 571 banana slicer, all the reviews are that funny. They're really exceptionally written. And I think this was some type of writing exercise for a comedy class or for somebody to get a writing job on a show. So if you really look on Amazon and you see the other reviews besides the one that I did in a banana costume, they're pretty impressive. And I'm not going to say that I might revisit that banana costume because I'm getting kind of desperado in my house.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of pivots, because I think that you're doing an excellent job of pivoting with what's going on. Have you seen anyone else that you're really proud of at how they've pivoted in the comedy realm? Because really, I mean, I see how restaurants are doing it, but really when it's live entertainment, that's the hardest thing to pivot with.
Mhm.
I'm kind of actually really proud of everybody. I'm not gonna lie. I'm watching what you guys are doing right now, and I'm like, how are they doing all this? And then there's a zooming in, a zooming out, which again I would fuck up. You know, I would just be like my Aunt Judy with like one eyeball, FaceTiming. But it's, you know, I think everybody. I think at first it took a moment for comics to adjust. I think there was a lot of shock in what was happening, and people thought this would kind of close down for 2 weeks and then they could be back at the game. And when a month went by, I saw a lot of comics spiral. And I don't know why I didn't. And maybe it's because, you know, I produce on a TV game show, Funny You Should Ask. And we were still working with our writers, you know, for the past 4 months until like a couple weeks ago when we went on hiatus. And we weren't shooting. We just continued as usual with our group of writers and kept writing the one-liner jokes and the trivia that we write for the show. So I was busy kind of 24/7. So it kept me in this this mind of keep working. And right away, I don't know if I would have gone right away to switch the show over online if it hadn't been for my friend Judy Lewinson, who lives in Canada, and she is a comedian and producer. She just does all these great things. And she'd done the show live when she was visiting LA, but she is the one that was like, hey, I know how to edit. I know how to do all these things. I love your show. Don't take a minute. Don't skip this beat. Put this online. Get the submissions from the comics. You'll host. You'll be creative. And you got to do now is the time. And within that first week, I was right away hustling. And by the second week in quarantine, I had a show up. So it was just kind of a fluke. I don't think if I had her to push me like that, I necessarily wouldn't have thought, you know, I would have thought of it, but I would have known how to execute it because I'm just not privy to all the editing. And then she puts it on YouTube and she premieres it live every Friday. I don't even know where that button is on YouTube, how to premiere a show live in real time. But that's what she does. And she's really, you know, a lot of the brains behind the show. I'm just as far as gathering the talent, encouraging them, kind of steering them towards ideas. And you'd be surprised how many big comedic names are like, I don't understand this. You know, in the live show too, you know, you can explain it over and over to them. And I think it's a pretty simple concept. And then I've had comedians just walk in and they're like, they walk in, they see the live show, they see the audience laughing, they see somebody do it, and they're like, what is this? And I'm like, what do you mean, what is this? This is a show. We perform social media posts or a review and they're like, oh, I thought I was doing stand-up. And I'm like, no, that's not it at all. So it's very crazy, but you know, it's really, I'm just super impressed on the commitment level of some of these comics and variety artists too. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I have a question for you and Dina, actually, because I think it needs to be talked about as we continue to bring things online, especially entertainment valued stuff, comedy and plus whatever, is how do we promote, or have you seen best practices on promoting the tipping culture in live shows online? Like, because I think that's one way that we can get the comedians paid, you know, and making sure.
I mean, I feel like there are some stand-up shows. I think it's called Stand Up Nowhere or The Nowhere. That's by Steve Hofstetter, who's really made something great. Ron Vai in San Francisco has put something together where, you know, there's 100 people watching online as people are performing. I just, you know, a lot of people are uncomfortable kind of doing that. And I get it. I mean, I come from a school where I've performed in the craziest of places. I've been in war zones in the middle of forward operating bases at 8 a.m. with 10 soldiers with M16s in their hands who haven't seen any entertainment or anything in like a year. And you land there and at 8 a.m. you're supposed to do an hour without a mic and you're standing on the rocks in the middle of the desert, it's the fucking morning. But you assimilate to whatever you are given. And I guess, again, I'm from the School of Theater. I was trained, as a kid, I always just was, you got an audience. If you commit and you do and present yourself, it will come. And I get stand-up comedy. You need the feedback of the audience. And I can understand that people need that. And as a comic, I improvise. That's most of the stuff I've been doing for the past 2 years, is just opening shows, especially at the store. They have me go on first because I work the audience. And it's a little bit Don Rickles, where people are where they're from and all over the world, because I've traveled so much, and that, I can kind of get to the joke fast, and have been trained in improv. And now it's back to like, you just got to solidly write jokes instead of working off your feet, because there isn't an audience necessarily in front of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it took me a good couple months to figure out how to have a show that was going to have production quality, but also have an audience and not have all those distractions. And I finally found the way to do that for me. And I mean, I did like 3 shows for non-traditional, so like organizations, HRC, local HRC, things like that, asked me to do some happy hours. The Wisconsin Chamber, LGBT Chamber, asked me to do it. And I was sitting there and I'm like, I know that I can tell my jokes and continue the process. It's not comfortable without an audience, but everybody was muted. And I was like, if I can do these 2, we can do a show. Mm-hmm. And then I figured out how to do it so we have a small audience and everything works. And it's just been, we're still doing it. The trick is getting people to tip, because everybody's online now, and your audience, you're competing with so many different things. Mm-hmm. The great thing about the show Extra AF that we're doing is that for both of the ones that we've done so far, because now it's every 2 weeks, we've had at least the same amount of people watching as would have showed up to the venue.
And that's important. It's a true, it's a hustle. It's not easy just to start something and get out of the gate. I've had to work. I mean, I built this show live at the Comedy Store, and I hustled to fill all those seats, 100 seats, and on a Friday night, and, to put an LGBTQIA plus audience on a Friday night at 8, usually those bitches don't be running out their door till like 10:30 after the cocktail. So to get them out, to put them there, to pay $15 for a watered down drink, you got to work hard. And it's a constant hustle for all of us now. I mean, look at the arts. It's just, where are we? And we should be out of this. We should have been in a better place. And it's super frustrating, but it's also kind of inspiring to see how everybody, rose up. I was asked to do an LGBTQIA synagogue here, a temple in LA. And I was asked to just do like 15 minutes, and they were honoring 3 people. And it's like, I read a little bit about the people they were honoring, and I just had to put it on tape in my house. And, I waited till it got closer to the event so things wouldn't be dated and I wrote special jokes for them, kind of focused on jokes about what was going on. And then I, kind of read a little bit about the 3 people getting honored. And, I kind of did my own personal roasts of the people, hoping that they weren't going to be like, who is this girl on video who's making jokes about, this Jewish doctor who's getting an award, or this lesbian cop who's getting an award, and I just took liberties. And I was like, well, I'm going to take liberties now because I'm in my room, and I probably would have done it on stage. And here's this tape, and I hope you guys like it. And it's weird. You just got yourself to kind of work off with as timing.
Yeah. It's true. Well, do you have anything?
I was just curious if anything's coming down the pipeline that's new in this change and in this like new scene of what's possible. Are you working on anything that you can share with us right now?
Well, my plate's kind of full with social media meltdowns. What's kind of exciting, what's happening with this show, is the Comedy Store in LA, which is its home. They haven't opened the club, but what they have done is put, a few tables and chairs in their parking lot. And it's kind of first come, first serve. And they've projected on the back wall of the Comedy Store some specialty shows. So they just asked me yesterday, which was great, for my show to come back. So July 30th, it's kind of this trial, but I started to ask some performers, and I get if people are not wanting to do this, but, I'm going to try to be as careful as we can. Very limited, people. There's not going to be an audience in the room, and it's basically going to be sound and the performer and me, and people willing, because I think the good thing about social media meltdowns is you're performing somebody else's post or review or comments, and you don't need an audience to feed off of. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what the videos on YouTube from home have shown. So you can commit whatever you want to do, like you do in sketch comedy or like they do on Saturday Night Live. And I don't think you necessarily need to hear the laughs for it to get across to the people of whatever character you're playing, that this is somebody who's nuts online.
That's true. I love it. I love it so much. So you can find Social Media Meltdowns at socialmediameltdowns.com. It goes directly to the website. Shawn Pelofsky, you can find her at ShawnPelofsky.com, as well as at Shawn Pelofsky Comedy on Facebook and Shawn Pelofsky on Instagram and on Twitter. Shawn, thank you so much.
Dina, Greg, thank you too for having me. So lovely to see your face. Oh. Look for Dina. Look for Dina. I think she's going to be on this Friday for Social Media Meltdowns. So her debut is coming, and it's great. I'm just going to say 2 words: Craigslist. So everybody, please look for that. And yeah, you can find us on YouTube, Social Media Meltdowns, and my website is HaHaChick, HaHaChick.com. So it's a little bit easier than my name, but. Thank you guys for having me and being
Thank you for joining us. We love you.
Great.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. All right. Aww. Oh, I love her so much. It was like she's one of my mentors. She's my heart. I love her to death and to life. I'm such a dork. All right. So we have one more segment that we're going to go out on. Our usual, my favorite thing. Well, yeah. Are we doing it?
Yeah.
It's a really short segment. So here we go. Is that really news?
Is that really news?
Is that really news?
You were telling a story to yourself right now, just now, right?
Which one?
When you were questioning whether we were going to do this segment or not.
Yes.
Does Greg not want to do the segment?
Yeah. Okay.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
To our
our final segment, and so glad Shawn Pelofsky was on here. But our final segment is that really news? And what do you have, Mr. Potter?
The Wall Street Journal this week wasted time to talk about buffets and salad bars being closed for a very long time. We get it. Why is this something that's coming up to talk about, to read? Why are you wasting valuable space on my internet to tell me about the death of salad bars and buffets?
Like I see it every time I go to, like I miss a hot bar. They opened the soda bar, like soda fountain, but sorry, your part.
No, what? Quick Trip, which is a gas station here in Wisconsin, has their soda fountain back open, and Dino really loves it.
I want to get a fountain soda so bad from there, but I'm still so freaking panicked about it. Like Like, am I going to get COVID from my soda? That's like...
I wish that you had put a social media post on that I could send a secret video to Shawn to be on, and it would have been you.
It would have been that.
Anyway, what do you got?
Okay, so South Korea has this new democratic breakthrough. South Korea has voted on their favorite brand. So years ago, about 14 years ago, Chex cereal came out and said, hey, we're going to launch a chocolate Chex Mix or Chex cereal or a green onion flavored Chex cereal. And so they started seeing a lot of people voting for a green onion Chex cereal, and they're like, shut down the voting. We're just going to launch a chocolate one, right? So then people kept getting upset, right? They kept getting upset. We want the green onion Chex cereal. We want the green onion. And so finally, 14 years later, Chex green onion flavor was launched in South Korea. It sold out in, I want to say 2 hours or 2 days. I can't remember. But like, I'm like, what? Is that really news?
I think it is, because one of my favorite things when I travel is to get to know different flavor profiles in the place I'm traveling. Also, cereal isn't a thing. Like, I eat breakfast, but cereal is. But there is this muffin at this. It's basically the Starbucks of South Africa called Vita Cafe, and they make this muffin that I will go get. It's a blueberry muffin, and on top are the most wonderful things ever. And then one day I realized that it was Count Chocula on top. Speaking of chocolate cereal. Thanks for listening.
That's so awesome. I love it. Awesome. So what's happening? Anything exciting coming up? Well, I will tell you. Go ahead.
Next week, I will announce a couple of things that I'm working on. Project Connect got behind an amazing art project that will be released this fall, but I think it's to the point where you can talk about it. So get ready for that next week. And also, I will tell everyone about something I'm working on to bring people abroad with me.
I love it.
Not next week, next year. But we'll talk about it next week.
So Lady Laughs Comedy, International Lady Laughs Comedy Festival, I said that sort of mush-mouthy, is going to be the end of August, and it's also going to be the first week in September. So 4 days last week in August, 4 days in the first week of September. Go to ladylaughscomedy.com to find out more about that, where you can get your tickets. They're going to be on sale on the 26th, I think. So make sure that you go to that. It's all going to be online. So anyone, anywhere can finally watch the International Lady Laughs Comedy Festival, as well as 2 weeks from Thursday on the 23rd of July, we are welcoming Lalita D to host the show Extra AF Comedy with Sarah Volpio, Janice Rodriguez, and Jake Knoll from Chicago, as well as Maya May from Los Angeles. And that's live on Facebook and YouTube. Free of charge, but also if you want to tip people, that would be lovely.
And if you want to stalk Lolita, she's been commenting. So
Lolita D Comedy. She's my biggest fan.
Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, make sure to follow us. Let me pop that up real quickly. You can follow us at Dina and Greg Show on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, as well as Dina and Greg with 2 G's on the end on Twitter. And you can follow us both on our personal social medias right here.
This is why you kept us in this separate, because I can't look at you here and then not look at you there. It's very weird.
I know, it's really awkward, but
Gigi Potter.
I mean, I can do that, and it's still the same side. You just can't
stalk
see me because...
Sorry. I mean, you can stalk me.
Okay.
But Lalita would like you to stalk her.
Yes. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next week at 7 p.m. on Sunday, 7 p.m. Central. On Sunday here, I'm Dina Nina Martinez.
And I'm Greg Potter, and we'll see you next week.
Take me back to the nights we felt alive, picking up the pieces on a summer night. I didn't know that I would feel just like my heart's on fire whenever I'm with you. Cause we go back in time to thrills I miss and all the things